Ladies and gents, welcome to G Reaction, and this is What If Everybody Lived in Just One Building by the channel RealLifeLore. We saw the video about what if everybody lived in just one city by the RealLifeLore, and that was intriguing, let's just say. Obviously that's unrealistic, but still, it's fun to see that is it even possible. But what if everybody just lived in one building? This is way too extreme, man. I mean, I don't know what he's going to do here. Is he going to make a gargantuan building that even goes way above, even in the space, the building goes all the way up to the space or something? It's wide as fuck. It's a massive skyscraper. Is that what he's going to do here? Or is he just going to see that how wide a average human is, how many people are there, and just divide by that and just cramp everybody into the one place? Because that's not really living. That's just cramping up people inside one building. Yeah, it's gonna be fun though. I've recorded quite a few real life lore video already. If you haven't seen them, check out the link in the description with all my videos. It's there. Check out the cast for the playlist like Internet Historian, Salmonella, CGP Grey, SCP, Tears Zoo, let me know, things like that. And check out the end cards, and yeah, let's watch this one.
This is a video by RealLifeLore, sponsored by the Great Courses Plus. A little over 3 months ago, I released a video about what if everybody on Earth lived inside the same city. Today, we're going to talk about something perhaps even more terrifying. What if everybody on Earth lived inside the same building? How large would this building have to be to house all 7.4 billion of us alive right now? It's not as strange of a question as it may seem at first. This picture right here is the town of Whittier, Alaska, and by that I mean that the entire town is located inside of this one building. The entire city's population of 214 people, for the most part, lives inside this.
That's a small town, not a city. But seriously, why do that? I mean, come on, man. Go back. What are all this for? Oh, I guess those are docks. But wait a minute, that's a building. Why not just build more structures around? I mean, if, you know, remove this, create more buildings here, there. Why just live in one big tower?
Inside of this one building. The entire city's population of 214 people, for the most part, lives inside this single building, and they really don't have to ever leave it. This is because almost all of the functions that you would normally find inside of a city are all located inside of the building. Inside, you can find the city's police department, the post office, the mayor's office, a general store, a grocery store, a hospital, a laundromat, a hotel, a church in the basement, and even an indoor playground complete with a swimming pool. The building is...
That is a great setting for a Fallout game. This would make a great town for Fallout. Seriously, man, this is a kind of depressing, isn't it? I mean, people would not have drive because of this. Like, there's nowhere else to live. This is it. What you have is what you have. It's like living in some kind of a, I don't know, living like in the Fallout vaults or something. You just do your thing, just, you know, do your thing, just, you know, have fun and go to sleep and repeat again. You don't have to drive like, I'm gonna make more money and buy a new house. There is no new house. I mean, you already live here. I get it, Alaska is a bit extreme condition place where things like this, you know, always comes up there, weird things. I mean, one weird thing to me that might be a normal thing for people in Alaska is, you know, some time of the year the sun doesn't even set. I mean, at the Anchorage and places like that. So people put black colored sheets on the windows to go to sleep. That's extreme condition, man.
The city, and the residents of the city can stay indoors almost indefinitely whenever the weather begins to get bad, because all of the city's services as well as their homes are all located inside of it. But
that's
even
why.
Still,
because of the weather they do that. Alright.
Just 214 people live here, which is nowhere near the entire human race.
I mean, 214 is not that many people. Just move to some place else which is not this extreme, I guess. Why I live there?
So let's get bigger and think about buildings with the largest seating capacity. The AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas is the home of the Dallas Cowboys and is truly enormous, larger than the US Capitol building and capable of seating 80,000 people, which means that you could comfortably seat the entire population of Andorra inside of it. But it still isn't as big as the largest indoor stadium in the world, which is located here in Pyongyang, North Korea, and is called Ryongwado 1st of May Stadium. It has...
What do they do with the stadium?
The capacity to seat 114,000 people all indoors, 34,000 more people than the AT&T Stadium, or about the same population as the...
Yeah, if 4chan has forced, you know, Bieber to go to North Korea for a concert, and if he did went there, this is where he would do the concert, wouldn't he?
Island of Kiribati, or about 20% of the population of Wyoming. But even that isn't as big as the largest ever planned indoor stadium, which would have been constructed in...
See? Look at that, those flags. Wait a minute, isn't this photo from the Is it from the game or that TV show, The Man in High Castle or whatever?
Berlin by Nazi Germany had they won the Second World War. The building would have been called the Volkshall and would have been capable of seating 180,000.
The wider than the Great Pyramid. Damn, this is not as tall, but for the just width of it, look at that. This giant building looks nothing.
People inside, about 5% of the population of modern-day Berlin. The building would have been so enormous that German architects calculated that the moisture collected by all of these people breathing inside of it could have actually created artificial rain inside, causing the building to have its own weather.
It's not as simple as that, but yeah, I guess you could do math on that.
If we move to outdoor stadiums, however, which would still be one building in a sense, then we can fit much more people. The largest outdoor stadium currently is the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, capable of seating 235,000 people, a little less than the entire population of Reno, Nevada. But once again, the Nazis had plans for an even larger stadium in the event of a victory in World War II. Their plans were to construct the Deutsches Stadion in Nuremberg, which would have been capable of seating a massive 405,000 people, more than the population of New Orleans.
Yeah, it feels like Hitler was on PCP because all his ideas are like just Titanic. I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. Ugh.
And over 5 times the seating capacity of the AT&T Stadium. Hitler planned that after Germany won World War II, every single Olympic Games for the rest of history would take place here at this stadium. But because the war was lost, the stadium was never finished. However, the largest building anywhere in the world in terms of how many people are meant to fit inside of it would be the Great Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. During the Hajj period, the mosque has the capacity to fit.
Look at how big it is, look at that. Damn, that is huge.
4 million people inside of it, which is greater than the entire population of Panama. There are buildings that could, in theory, fit more people than this, though. They're not designed to fit people.
I don't know why, but RealLifeLore sounds like a psychopath right now. Just fit in more people. Not that living inside, like it requires somewhat space. Not just fit in, cram up all the people inside.
But we're going to see what could happen if we did so anyway. Before we get started with this part though, let's figure out how many people we could safely fit inside of 1 square meter. After a lot of research, it seems that anything over 5 people per square meter could be potentially dangerous and lead to people trampling each other. So, at the highest limit, let's go with about 5 people on average being able to possibly fit into 1 square.
Yeah, people might not trample each other at this size. But still, just because how close it is, how claustrophobic it is, people might strangle each other.
Meter. The largest building in the world in terms of its physical footprint on the Earth's surface is going to be the Tesla Gigafactory once it's finished being built in Nevada.
This is epic project, man.
When compared to the AT&T Stadium and the US Capitol building, and it would take up a physical space of 530,000 square meters, or a little larger than Vatican City, which means that you could fit the world's smallest country completely inside of the boundaries of the world's largest building. At 5 people per square meter, that means that you could fit 2,650,000 people inside the building all indoors, more people than live in all of Namibia. So we're at the scale of entire countries worth of people fitting inside one building now, but we can still get much larger. The largest building ever designed in terms of the floor space that it would occupy was the Crystal Island building, which would have been built in Moscow were it not halted. Had it have been completed, it would have possessed 2.5 million.
Look at that, it looks awesome, man. Why wasn't it built? As soon as it's a Crystal Island, like what the hell is this? I never heard of it because it was never built. But it looks awesome, look at that.
Square meters worth of floor space, which combined could have fit a staggering 12,500,000 people, or more than the entire population of Belgium. But we can still go even bigger if we begin to take a 3-dimensional view rather than the 2-dimensional view that we've had so far. With this in mind, the average height for a modern human is roughly 1.63 meters. Therefore, if we construct a cube with a 1 square meter base and a height of 1.63 meters, then we could fit 5 average humans inside of it. This gives us.
Am I the only one who's finding this? Man, give some room to the guy, but at least make it 1.8 meter or 2 meters. 1.63 meter height. Alright, let's just make all buildings ceiling at 1.63 so everybody's just cramping up inside it. Their head is touching the ceiling.
0.326 cubic meters per person, or 3.07 people per cubic meter. With this math in
And now
mind,
you're gonna chop
the
up
largest
people too.
building in the
Okay.
world in terms of sheer volume is the Boeing Everett factory located in Washington. The building possesses 13.3 million cubic meters located entirely indoors, which is so large that the building has its own microclimate somewhat similar to what the proposed Volkshall in Berlin would have been like. Adding floors into the building with an average height of just 1.63 meters each, capable of fitting the average human inside, and we could theoretically fit 40,831,000 people inside of here, which would be enough to fit the entire populations of Denmark, Norway, Sweden, Finland, Iceland, Greenland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania all combined, and still have room left over for all of Serbia just for good measure. That's the largest building in the world.
Yeah. I'm pretty sure if Germany had won World War II, they would have done that. They would have created a building like that and cramped all those people there and just say that, oh, look at that, empty space. More real estate for us.
World though, and that's still not even 1% of the entire human population that could possibly fit inside of it. To get to that point, we need to construct a new building, and if we did so, what is the smallest possible size that it could be to fit all of us? Well, at the time of making this video, the world population is currently 7.478 billion people. If we crammed people into the same density as we did inside the Boeing factory, then we would require a volume of 2.436 billion cubic meters, or 2.436 cubic kilometers. The building would be a cube with sides of 1.346 kilometers in length and a height of 1,346 meters. This seems big, but placed in downtown New York City, it would actually look like this, inside of which you can actually fit every single human being alive today. The tallest building in the world is the Burj Khalifa at nearly 830 meters high, but the tallest building under construction that will be done in 2020 is the Jeddah Tower, which will be much higher when finished at 1,008 meters. Only 338 meters short of our mega cube.
Yeah, but some of them is just, design is just, I don't know. It's not something that you could fit people in the top part, I think.
The base of the cube would only be about 5 times larger than the Tesla Gigafactory as well, so building the cube is certainly within the realm of possibility. And if it was built, the entire human race alive today, all 7.478 billion of us, could all fit inside of a building that would only take around half an hour to jog around. So thank you very much for watching this video. I must now take the time to thank my incredible sponsor, the Great...
Yeah, people, go to Great Courses Plus and support this channel. This is an incredible channel, RealLifeLore. I think recently hit 4 million subscribers, 4.04 million, so yeah, probably. Yeah, this is too mathematical. Let's just say, like, cram people as much as you can. Obviously, after a few days, they're all going to be dead just because of the shock and claustrophobia. But yeah. This was a great video. Alright people, if you like my reaction, don't forget to like and subscribe. Check out the Rick Sunday. There's a link in the description. Check out the cast for the playlist. Check out the end cards. And yeah, I'll see you next time.